Okay, this is the last time I'm going to try this, and if it doesn't take, I'm going to take it as the universe saying, I'm not supposed to be doing this today. So let's update on the whole purpose of this thing for me on my mood blanket. So today, the day I'm recording this is January 7th. Is that right? Yeah, January 7th. And it's not perfect, but I have this much of my mood blanket knit. I have 6 squares. And again, if you forget what the colors mean, those colors are outlined in the episode 1. And it's been a learning process. It's been fun. It's not difficult to do these squares. I think this purple one was my first square because I was happy and excited to be getting started with this project. And so as I get more comfortable doing these, they go much faster, obviously. And then as I learn how to best join them to the squares that exist, it goes faster. But so I started with 2 squares, and then I joined the 3rd, and then I've just been tacking them on. So what I realized as I started to knit these 6 squares, and what I knew this was going to happen, is that the 9 categories of colors and moods that I had created were not quite enough to truly capture things that I'm feeling that day, and I apologize. Side note, my mother informed me for the last video you could hear my dog snoring in the background. I'm not going to promise that's not going to always happen. She's constantly around. You can hear her drinking water, you might hear her shake her collar, so that's going to be here. But all right, back to So now you're going to hear snarfling in the background because she was getting bored, and so she was finding things to chew on. So I've given her something to chew on, and she will destroy it in the background. And I apologize because she needs to be near me to do that. But anyway, okay. So as I was saying, so we don't actually know what I was saying because I had to chop up this video so much because I was having storage issues as I was trying to record. Somehow the first part of this discussion is lost in the ether. But okay, anyway, I was talking about this particular sock project that I'm working on. It is just a vanilla sock project, 20 round cuff, 60 round leg, a heel flap and gusset, and then the foot, which I did not count the rounds on, and then I think there's a rounded toe on here. And I am using Laines a watercolor sock. And it has 2 identical sock dies on it, and that is where this video sort of picks up. Okie dokie. There's a white sort of space in the yarn between, you know, where one fade stops and another fade starts. So I sort of finished my sock, and then I wound off until I found it again, the color that I wanted to start with. And last night just cast on 10 or so, I don't know, maybe not even 10 rows of the cuff of the next sock. So we'll just go with that. That's just vanilla sock. I think I said that. So that is an active work in progress. Another work in progress I have is I really love the Anchors tee or shirt. I can't remember exactly which one it was, by Petite Knit, and I wear it all the time. I made one of those a year and a half ago, something like that. And okay, we're gonna try again. Let's see. All right, so the Anna tee, I'm gonna put the information down. I wanted to try it because I like the look of the fit, and it also has this neat little shoulder. I'm not sure what you call it, but so far so good. I mean, I've had to stop and start so often with this t-shirt. At first it was actually a tank top over the summer, and I didn't like the way the tank top fit. It was too big. I had to start from the straps, and
I don't know, it was too wide, it was too long, I didn't like anything about it. It wasn't the pattern's fault, it was totally me not knowing what I was doing, but I didn't want to do another tank top, so I did another, I'm trying another tee, and so we're going to see how this goes. The yarn that I'm using is actually a mixture of Shibui, Pebble. It was a, again, I'll have to put, I'm not really good at this yet, right? But I'll have to put the yarn information on the screen here. But it's a Shibui that I got at a clearance, again, at the New York Wool Walk. I think in a store called the Blue Purl. Again, I'll look that up. And then I didn't want to use it alone because it's a lace weight. So I went to Webb's and I got a wool nylon blend, sort of lace weight also to hold with it, or a wool tencel blend to hold with it, and that's what's giving me this marl. But then what I found is when I was knitting with the stuff that I'd already used from the tank, no problems, but then of course they're going to need more yarn for a tee than for a tank, and so when I was pulling out the other balls that I had and started knitting, it wasn't looking the same. I tried washing it, it didn't help it look the same. So I had to take back some. I tinked back a little bit of the underarm here, and I'm doing the helical knitting, but it's kind of messy, and I don't know if you'll be able to see it, but you see, I'm trying helical knitting, and it's working, it's blending better, but I just, the stitches are very messy, and I'm not the neatest stitcher to begin with. Boy, that sounded very whiny. So, I don't know. We'll see. I guess I'll keep going, and we'll try it. I'm not going to get better at it if I don't do it, right? So this is a really nice yarn, and it's a really nice feel. It's so soft and drapey, and I want it to work. I want it to be something that I wear. So yeah, we'll keep us updated and posted on that. Oh, and I have to talk to you about this bag. So in September, a friend of mine, sweetest woman, gifted me a spot to go with her to Patty Laines' knitting retreat in September of 2023 in New Jersey, because New Jersey isn't far from where I am. She actually, my friend, lives in New Jersey. And while we were there, Patty had a marketplace where different vendors came to sell their wares, and this bag was there. I love this bag. This is my ultimate favorite knitting bag. It's got this little handle if you want to take it. I take this bag nowhere though because I don't want it to get messed up. I love this fabric. It's so pretty, and it's so durable. It's not flimsy. It's got some heft to it. I know nothing about fabric. And then it's got an inside lining that is also durable. It feels like maybe canvas, like a heavy canvas. I don't know. It's nice. But it's got, as you can see, it has this snap. So it snaps in the middle, right? But then also, I was talking about this bag. And I love this bag. It's one of my favorites. And during the marketplace time, I found this bag. And it's lovely. So as you can see, it sort of comes together like this. These two hooks come together. The handle is a hook, and then you open it and it snaps in the middle, and you can have two balls of yarn if you want to, sort of coming out either side. And then you can roll down the top. And on the inside, there is a big pocket on one side, and then three little pockets on the other, and then big sort of room for like a shirt or, you know, project in there. So really love this bag. It's BK Needleworks is the maker for this. I'm going to try to find her website and put it up there for you, but I love this bag. Then the other thing I wanted to talk a little bit about are some recent FOs. So I've got this little guy,
He's so cute. He was fun to make. This is Simon the spider plant, and it is part of a collection of knitted plants by Amanda Berry. She made this collection for Paintbox Yarn using their cotton yarn. I, however, did not use that. I just used acrylic yarn in my stash that I had purchased at the dollar store, Dollar Tree. I think it's called Just Yarn. It's a Premier yarn, but I had that and it was going to work for the color, so I just used that. So I made the pot. There's some dirt under there, and then the leaves are these two different colors. I actually did put a plastic plant pot in there, and then filled that with polyfill before I put all of this together. That way it just gives some structure to it. This was actually made for a graduate student who works with me, and she buys plants like I buy yarn, and I thought it would be fun to knit her obsession with mine. So this is for her. I will give it to her later this week. I haven't seen her. She's been on break. But yeah, so that's one recent FO, and I hope she likes that. The next recent FO is a pair of socks that I knit for my son. So these are, the pattern is Warm Feet, Warm Heart. The designer is, she's German, I'm not going to say her name right, Mone Dräger. I'm not sure if that's right, I apologize, but you can find this pattern in Ravelry, Warm Feet, Warm Heart. I liked it because I had knit my son a pair of socks before, and he didn't like the way they fit. He said sort of at the heel, at the ankle, they felt like they wanted to slip off. I'm not sure what that meant, if it's a stitch count thing. If I had knit him just the regular vanilla sort of pattern socks, so I thought I'd try something that was ribbed. And so when I found this, I thought that was interesting, and because the ribbing comes all the way down to the heel turn, and I had not seen that before, so I thought I might give that a try. That might help with this issue that he's having. So then once you do the heel turn, it's all stockinette on the bottom of the foot, but then the ribbing continues on the top of the foot. So I wanted to try that for him, see if that helps. If that doesn't help, maybe it is a stitch count thing and I'll have to go down to like the 64 or whatever. But I also thought this yarn color was apropos because it is Felici, which is a Knit Picks yarn that has been discontinued. They've moved to a Felicini for their sock yarn, which I haven't tried yet, but hope to soon. But the color for this was called Arcade Afternoon, and I thought that was perfect because my son is a big gamer, and the colors are pretty and fun, and I thought he would like it. So yeah, so Warm Feet, Warm Hearts to my son in Ohio, and hopefully it can help keep his feet warm in the snowy weather. So yeah, so those are my recent FOs, and then I thought because I'm coming up on a 2-year knitting anniversary, I could also talk about some past projects that I've done. So one of those would be this sweater that I made for my dog Bella. One of the first things I did, so this would have been my first winter knitting. One of the first things I did was knit a sweater for my niece, and then a sweater for my niece's baby doll, and I had some yarn left over for that, and so I was like, I'll knit my dog a sweater. That would be fun. It was fun. So this is the Lucky Dog sweater by Salvo, I believe is the name of the designer. It was designed for Purl Soho. I think it's wonderful. I didn't know what I was doing with anything about fit. I just followed the designer's the patterns sort of measurements for a large dog, I think. I don't know, but it ended up being too long for her. So the second winter, I sort of cut it down. I didn't cut it. I didn't want to risk that. I had no idea what I was doing. So I bought some nylon thread and I sort of folded it and tacked it down, and that's been working just fine. But yeah, she loves it when it comes out. She knows it's time for a WALK. She's snoring again down there, so I don't want to say the word or she'll get all excited. We just went through a I have to destroy everything phase, and the other 45 times I tried to record this video, so I don't want to wake her up. But yeah, So this is the Lucky Dog sweater. This is Karen yarn in raspberry pink. Yeah, we still use it. It's not perfect. There's lots of issues with it. You can see the what would this be? Maybe the increase moments in here and stuff, but you know what? It's fine. She doesn't notice. It's okay. She looks cute running around in a pink sweater.
Want to go outside? Whee! Oh no, I missed you.
Okay, I think that worked. So I think we got to this closing part. I hope so. But so, yeah, that's all I have for today. I think next time I really want to get to categorizing my yarn stash, because part of my 2024 goals is to try to decrease my yarn stash by 50%. Not for any shoulds other than having so much of it is really starting to be anxiety producing for me. And so I really want to use up what I have, and when I do purchase, to only purchase stuff that for which I have a specific project in mind, so that I don't have so much yarn sitting around in my life being not used. So yeah, thank you so much for being here. If you're here, thank you, future me, for watching this. I don't know. Anyway, I think I'm just slap happy at this point. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye!